Knicks family, what's popping? We just watched the Knicks. They had a 10-point lead. Fourth quarter execution, once again, we blew it down the stretch. So let's talk about it. Let's get rocking. Knicks family, don't forget. Martin Luther King Day, January 21st, 2019. Yes, this is 2019. Happy New Year's to you. Join us at Madison Square Garden as the Knicks take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. The package includes a private lounge on Chase Bridge, food and non-alcoholic beverages included, courtside during the pregame shoot-around. Bear witness to the live stream, be part of the live stream, and then, of course, just added to this package, you'll be on the court. You'll get a chance to either shoot free throws or take a picture, whatever we decide as a group. So make sure you join. Make sure that you register now. There's only 8 tickets left, ladies and gentlemen. 8 tickets left. All right, and take a quick look. We did this opening night. These are pictures from our opening night kickoff, and it was a great night. We had a great time. A lot of great fans there. A lot of, we just had a ball. I just scrolled through a few pictures. You can see, we just had a great time, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope that you join us for Martin Luther King's Day. All right, tickets are available now. There's only 8 tickets remaining. So make sure you get yours right now before they run out, before they're done. They're going to be done very, very soon. So make sure you get your tickets, ladies and gentlemen. And let's go. Chat. Nothing but Knicks family. What is popping, man? And once again, the Knicks crumbled down the stretch. As expected. It's nothing new. It's expected. Right? It was expected that the Knicks would crumble down the stretch. At least I expected them to. I will say that I'm not totally just disappointed in the game tonight. I'm just not totally disappointed. Because at least we didn't lose by 40. Right? And that was big to me. You seen it in my pregame. I said the biggest key to this game is not to lose by 40. We didn't lose by 40. As a matter of fact, we led most of the game. And you'll get to see a bunch of wrap-up stuff and tweets and all kinds of stuff on the Knicks stream, 24/7 stream. So, it's growing. The stream is growing. So make sure you check it out every once in a while. Pop in there.
Taff, from your perspective, what did you see was the biggest issue there?
Excuse me for they came out with switched up. It's kind of on an automatic switch up. So let me switch that back. There we go. I apologize for that. It's going to be updated pretty soon, but that's kind of what the stream looks like. It just stays updated. Constant flow of updated stream, of updated information about the Knicks. But anyway, let's get back to business and talk about this game, right? Because it kind of was a good game for the Knicks, with what we've been seeing recently from our Knicks. It was kind of a good game, right? Because we came out in the first quarter, we played well. We played well throughout the first half. We led by 1 at the half. We played a decent third quarter, led by 2 at the end of the third quarter, but we couldn't hold on in the fourth. Couldn't hold on in the fourth quarter. I got my man Isaiah in the chat. Isaiah, what's popping with you, brother?
What's popping, Sim? What's going on with you?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. How you been? How was your New Year? I hope, did you and your lady go out and party, do what you do? What's up?
Oh yeah, it was one of my brothers, my close friend, basically my brother. It was basically his birthday. Me and my lady went out. A couple of her friends. We had a good time. We had a great time and great New Year's, man. How was yours?
It was great. I just hung out. Me and the wife, my daughter, one of her friends was over. We just kind of hung out, watched movies.
It wasn't no boyfriend, right?
What'd you say?
Wasn't no boyfriend, right?
Yeah, actually it was.
Oh man, so you should have told me to come, man.
But you know, that's how you do it. You keep them close. You know what I mean? You keep them close.
There you go.
Keep them close.
Oh, I'm sorry for your loss too, man. By the way, I'm sorry for your loss too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was tough,
man.
Yeah, that's tough, man. It's like three teenagers that my family's close to within 3 months, and it makes it even worse that it's teenagers, kids.
Man, that's sad, man. Gotta pray better days and hopefully it gets better.
But you know, it makes you really appreciate just life itself, right? Because
exactly, man.
It could be taken away. You know, so you know the hope is that people can take from it is that in 2019, you know, if you have relationships that you need to patch them up. You know what I'm saying? Take advantage of the time that you have because you never know when it's going to be gone. If you have plans to do something, don't wait to do it tomorrow. Do it now. If you're going to start a business, don't say, well, I'll go get my license next week. No, go do it now. You know what I'm saying? There's no sense of waiting. Get it done now. Do what you got to do, you know, because time is promised to no one, you know. But anyway, you know, and, you know, my condolences goes out to the parents and family of this young lady that passed away just yesterday, actually. So, yeah, it's tough. But besides that, I had a very good New Year's. You know, we sat around watching old movies. We watched Beat Street. We watched Barry Gordy's Last Dragon. You know what I'm saying? Clockers, you know, just sit around watching movies and having a good time.
That's a classic right there. They don't know about no Clockers.
It's all good. So it was all good. Yeah, and I seen somebody say they don't like the snowball in my hat. Man, what's up? I'll be chilling with it. I like the snowball on the hat. My bad. But anyway, man, what's up, man? How did you feel about this game?
You know, yeah, this was, you know, I agree with you about the whole 40 thing. I long as you didn't get blown out, but you know we had a great game. The young kids played good. You know, I'm proud of Frank. Frank to me had a really good game. 10-5. He played really well.
He played well.
Knox played well. You know, Mud. I wasn't really a big fan of Mud in the second half. I wasn't really a big fan of it. Wasn't really a big fan of Tim in the second half. But you know, Luke played good. There was a lot of like defensive assignments that's messed up. But you know, for facing the best team in the West right now, we played good, man. Like again, you know, these are the losses that I think all Knicks fans can take. If we play like this, we can take that. But you know, other than that, you know, it was a good game. A lot of the young kids played good. You know, I'm thinking Dot and Zoe should. I think especially Zoe should probably get a couple DMPs right now. He hasn't been playing good since he came back. Maybe the injury still affected him. But you know, like I said, they played good. They played hard. They missed a couple hustle plays, but other than that, they played good. You can't complain about this.
Nah, I can't complain about it at all. I don't like the lack of fourth quarter execution, but that's what's going to happen when you're playing with, you know, you got a team of young guys. A team of young guys and Tim Hardaway, right? You're going to have a lack of execution.
You got to say it like that.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a lack of execution. I mean, you know, one of the big turning points, I don't know if it was a turning point in the game, but, you know, one of those big plays, I forgot what the score was, but you know, the Knicks come down. Hardaway tried to split between two people and turns the ball over. I think we were. It was 103-100. Hardaway tries to split two, turns the ball over. They come back down, knock down the three, and from there we can never really get the game back. I don't want to say under control, you know, because it stayed within a 6, 7, 8 point game, but we could never get back to the point where we really, you know. Well, we could really win. I didn't expect to win anyway. You know what I mean? I didn't expect to win anyway. Let me get to Isaiah. I'm gonna keep your line open. All right.
Okay.
So we got somebody in the chat, new in the chat, Jersey Shore. What's going on with you, man?
What's up, baby? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I believe this is your first time in the chat. Welcome.
No. I've been in the chat before. Last time I was in the chat, it's been a while, but I do listen to you every day, you know.
I appreciate it. In 2019, you know, I'm expecting to have even more content, you know, not live content, but some, you know, just videos and things like that. And, you know, hopefully me and Isaiah got a few things up the sleeve. And
it's coming.
Yeah, we got a few things going on. But I appreciate you for always checking in and listening to the show, man.
Oh yeah, I particularly like Hoosbart. He's about as passionate as I am when it comes to my Knickerbockers. You know, I've been a fan since I was 12 years old. You know, that's damn near 50 years. You know.
Yeah.
And what I saw tonight, it's funny because you did say yesterday or when your last transmission how the Knicks were going to rise to the occasion and play a better team and be in the game. It's funny how they can do that.
Yeah.
The only thing kind of troubled me was Moutier has a tendency to be a ball hog. And then Hardaway came out there, like you said, and I don't know what he was thinking, but 35-foot shots, and you haven't been shooting all day? What is wrong with you, boy?
I mean, you know, that's Hardaway. That's Hardaway for you, man. And listen, Hardaway, I mean, I can't complain too much. He had a decent game. Exactly, let's see what he shot from the field. Exactly. Hardaway today shot 58.3% from the field, was 7 for 12. He didn't take a ton of shots. 2 assists, had 3 turnovers.
And the turnovers that he's had, you know, I know it would take me at least what they got 43 games in the books now. Or 41 games in the books?
Let me see. What are we? We're 9-29. So what's that? 38 games in the books?
Right. I tell you what. If Hardaway hasn't lost that ball trying to dribble through people at least 10 times, my name isn't Kevin Coleman.
Oh my God.
I mean, I know he said he was working on his dribble game. Did he really work on it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think a lot of it is the decision making, right? It's where he decides to go with the ball. You know, you're gonna split between two people. You're gonna do it successfully. You're not gonna do it all the time. You know, sometimes it's his decisions. You know, and that's what causes those bad turnovers during bad times.
Hardaway.
What's up, Devon?
I've given Hardaway time to get traded to another team, get sent to the D League, and come back to be the first scorer on the team, right? And then make the poor decision after.
Well, yeah, I think it's just in his blood, man. I think it's in Hardaway. It's just in his blood to make those poor decisions. I'm going to come back to you, Jersey Shore. You're breaking up a little bit, so maybe we can get that adjusted. I'm going to come in. Davon is in the chat.
You can do it for a living.
Davon, what's popping, bro?
What's popping, Sim? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
Man, just getting off work. How was your New Year's?
It was beautiful New Year's, man. How was yours?
Man, it was beautiful. It's beautiful. Glad to be here. Glad to see another year.
Yeah, definitely, man. Glad. You know, as you know, me and Isaiah was talking about earlier. You know, that there was some hardship around. You know, where in my area too. You know,
yeah,
in the
I heard, man. Sorry for your loss. I already know how that.
Yeah, you know
how that is, man.
You know, but other than that, it was a great day. It was a great day,
yeah.
and I'm ready. You know. I'm ready to take 2019 by storm. I got a lot of things and plans in store, so I'm ready to go.
changed the interface on the show and everything. We got the live stream. I got big plans.
Yeah, I'm hoping that 24/7 live stream kicks off. I'm gonna try it for a few more weeks, see what happens. If not, I got some backup plans in store. I'm starting a hip hop channel the end of this week, so I got some things going on, man.
Yeah, on that live stream thing, I got a few idea or two for you if you want to. We could chop it up one day about it.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt.
On some Knicks stuff.
For sure, man. So what you think about it? Did you get a chance to see the game?
Oh, yeah, I worked the game today, so I was able to watch it. I watched it kind of like twice already. I like what we did tonight. We played hard. It was a lot better than seeing us get blown out by Utah.
Oh, definitely.
I like what we seen from the young fellas. Knox played good. Really like what I seen from Ntilikina. Cornette played good. Cornette, his defense stepped up a little bit on that pick and roll. He wasn't as getting burnt a lot like he was against Utah. I think that was just him trying to get used to the speed of the game.
Right. Okay.
You just a little step too slow. You know what I mean? Not knowing what he can really do out there yet.
Yeah.
But game was good. But I noticed something. I don't know if you watched the game, thoroughly or watched it all. But did you notice? I kind of noticed that the guys were kind of like freezing Tim Hardaway Jr. out of the offense a little bit. I don't know if you picked that up.
I didn't. I have to go back and check that out and really look at it. I think that. But I think Tim Hardaway had 12 shots tonight, and I think that it's been maybe Fisdale is starting to say, you know what, I'm tired of you shooting crazy shots, wild shots.
Right.
We're gonna cut you back a little bit. I want you to, I want you to really think about your shot selection and shoot better shots.
Yeah, because I've seen a couple of times where I think that it's been, guys were in trouble and they could have easily gave it to Hardaway Jr. and they didn't. They didn't at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if I have to do something with the whole thing with Cantor or focusing on the young guys. But yeah, I kind of noticed that. I would like to see Frank and Moutier on the court at the same time a little bit more. I would like to see that dynamic a little bit. I don't think we've really seen that a lot. But I really like what Cornette, what he brings us. He spaces the floor really well. If he can knock down his shot, I can see him being a key role player. For us. In the time, in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, if he can knock down the shot, play defense,
Right.
Now the Nuggets didn't play as much pick and roll as other teams, though. Right.
They don't. That's true.
Right. They don't play as much pick and roll as other teams. So we'll see. I haven't really watched the Lakers, so I don't know how much pick and roll they actually play.
They do a lot of pick and roll. I don't know how they're gonna LeBron, what they're gonna be doing without LeBron and Rondo, because they'll both be out on the court.
Right.
But I'm optimistic. I just like how we played tonight. A real watchable game. Where I didn't feel discouraged or I feel bad for getting the Knicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That was
it was watchable. It was watchable. It was a hard fought loss. We played, all 48 minutes. We grinded it out. I mean, we didn't get the victory. It was a couple little mistakes towards the end. I seen Tim Hardaway Jr. bring him back up. He had a bad turnover when we were trying to come back. I think he was trying to do a little too much, and he turned it over. He could have easily just threw it to Cornette for a dunk. Right.
On
one of those plays, I think we were down by 5 or 7, and I could have cut it down to 3 or 2.
Yeah. So let me do a quick I see Rob the Knickers in the chat. Let me do a quick recap. Look at some of the box scores and some of those things, and I'm gonna get right back to the video chat. Rob the Nick, I see you there. All right, I'm gonna do this recap, then I'm gonna get back to you. All right. Tonight, I mean, you know, like I said earlier, I'm okay with the game. I'm okay with what happened tonight. You know, I think that tonight was it was a decent performance by the Knicks. You know, it's the kind that you can live with. All right, it's the kind that you can live with. The Knicks won the first quarter, 32-28, which was really good because, you know, previously, you know, you look at the Utah game and we just got smacked in that first quarter. I mean, we just got ran out the gym in that first quarter, and the game was basically over by then. And to a team that isn't even as good as the Denver Nuggets, at least not right now. Right, we'll see if this holds throughout the season. I think during the telecast, they said this is the longest since like 1973 that the Denver Nuggets have held the first place position in the Western Conference. So we'll see if they turn out to be this good of a team for the long haul. There's still a lot of games left to the season. But for right now, they're a very good team in the Western Conference. And for us to come out and compete the way that we did against a team that's right now number one in the Western Conference was very much a positive for the Knicks. You know, it was something that you can really hang your hat on and take it back and say, okay, if we can do this against the Denver Nuggets, then we should be able to do this against everyone that we play, and we can be competitive in every single game, right? And we should be competitive in every single game. But you know what? Sometimes it takes the kind of all I can say is ass whooping. The kind of ass whooping that we had in Utah, it takes that sometimes to say, all right, we better get our stuff together. You know what I'm saying? I remember I used to work in an office, and I'm glad that I no longer work in an office and I have my own business, but because it's just beautiful. But we used to have GIST meetings, right? GIST, GIST. Get your shit together. That was the name of the meeting. That's what it was. Well, you know, when we have reviews, federal reviews and things like that, we would have a GIST meeting. And it looks like, you know, the Knicks had to get smacked around big time to try to get some things together. And maybe, you know, we're building on the way back up the ladder, right? We're, you know, on the way back up, rebuilding that confidence to step on the floor and be able to compete and be competitive, whether or not we win or lose. Because we had a bunch of games, man, where we didn't look competitive. And I don't know if there's things going on in the locker room, you know, with Inez Cantor and all that kind of stuff. That can definitely affect your game. All right, but let's take a look at the box scores here. Again, the Knicks lost to the Nuggets 115-108. The Knicks held the lead most of the game. Most of the night, the Knicks were in the lead. They just couldn't hold on. The Nuggets are just too strong of a team for the Knicks to hold on to that lead. Just too strong of a team. The Knicks won the first quarter 32-28. They lost the second quarter 27-24. The third quarter, the Knicks won the third quarter 28-27. But then in the fourth quarter, the Nuggets flexed their muscle and took over. They won the fourth quarter 33-24 to walk away with a 7-point victory. All right, the Knicks, they lost the rebounding battle 53-43. And I'm going to tell you what, as long as Cantor is not getting those minutes, 35, 36 minutes a night, the Knicks are going to have a tougher time rebounding the basketball. They're not going to win as many of those rebounding battles as, they might have been winning earlier in the season. Because obviously, Inez Cantor is going to give you, 13, 12, 13, 14, 15 rebounds a night, when he's in the game. Okay, so but we want to see Luke Cornett out there and see what he can do. So I'm okay with it. I'm all right with it. All right, the Knicks had 28 assists tonight. We were moving the ball. We had 15 in the first half. We had 13 in the second half. We did a much better job moving the basketball. Right now, sometimes it just depends on matchups. Sometimes matchups We'll see if this is something that we can continue, that we can push through and continue to do game after game after game. We've had a few outlier games this season where we had, a high number of assists, but for the most part, we've been under 20 assists per game. As you see, we averaged 19.7. Coming into this game, we averaged 19.7 assists a game. We'll see if this is something that can continue throughout the remainder of the season. Practice time, you get practice time. The Knicks had some practice time. Practice time will get you there, right? Practice time will help you. We're going to have some practice time before the Lakers game, okay? We don't play again until Friday, so we got some time. The Knicks have some time to get on the court. Get on the court. Work some things out, right? So I'm expecting the Knicks to play well versus the Lakers. I don't know if we're going to win. Now, not having LeBron there, obviously, there's, that changes a lot of things, right? So I don't know about a win, and we'll talk about it later, but I'm expecting the Knicks to play better, play well, because they got some practice time and they'll have some rest. All right, the Knicks had 4 steals tonight. The Nuggets had 7. The Knicks with only 3 blocks. The Nuggets 6. And the Knicks only had 8 turnovers tonight. Only 8 turnovers. The Knicks shot 45.2% from the field. The Denver Nuggets 40.7% from the field. I'm sorry. The Knicks shot 45.2% from the field. The Denver Nuggets 46.3% from the field. The Knicks made their 3-point shots at a 40% clip, 40.7%. The Nuggets were 35.3% from the 3-point strike. And the Knicks made 13 of 18 free throws, while the Nuggets were 15 of 23. Nuggets are 15 to 23. Bottom line is we just lost to a better team. And that's basic, that's basically it. The Nuggets. And if you look at, where's the difference? That we lost by 8 points. And if you want to see where the difference is, the Nuggets made 1 more 3-point field goal than us. That's 3 points there. They made 2 more baskets than us. Right, that's 4 points. That's 3 points. That's 7 points, and they made 2 more free throws than us. There's the difference right there. As far as points are concerned, that's the difference. Now let's take a look at the box scores. Take a quick look at the box scores, then we'll get back to the chat and see what people are talking about. If you want to call in, make sure you give me a call, man. 516-405-2246. Let's talk. Looking at the box score. Tonight, Kevin Knox had a good first half once again. Okay, second half, but it wasn't the first half. That's okay. He had 18 points. He had 4 rebounds. I really want to see Kevin Knox get on those boards more. We need, in my opinion, more rebounds from Kevin Knox. We need Kevin Knox to be on the board. Kevin Knox right now, we take a look at his stats for the season. Kevin Knox is averaging 12.2 points per game and 4.3 rebounds per game. We need more. And we need more than that. And he can do it. He has the ability to do it. He's a young guy. I'm not complaining about him or getting on him or anything like that. I'm just saying, I want to see him. That's part of I want to see him grab rebounds. I believe that he should be a double-double guy. He can be a double-double guy. He should be a double-double guy. Hopefully he'll get there in his career. Right? This guy, in my opinion, should be averaging 10 rebounds a game. All right? Kevin Knox averages right now 12.2 points, 4.3 rebounds per game. We'll see if he gets there. I believe that he can get there. All right? I believe that he can get there. It'll take him some time. He's got to learn the NBA. I'm patient with the kid. I'm just mentioning some things that I see, and I would like to see him, see from his development. All right. Noah Vonleh tonight had 14 rebounds. Talking about rebounds. Speaking of rebounds, and 5 points, 3 assists. Luke Cornett, 19 points tonight. 6 for 9 from the field, 4 for 7 from the 3-point line, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. I'd like to see more rebounds from Luke Cornett as well, but he plays a lot more on the perimeter. at least on the offensive side. So he's not going to get many offensive rebounds. If you look, Luke Cornett had 0 offensive rebounds tonight. And you get used to that because he's not going to get many offensive rebounds because he's out on the perimeter. That's how he plays. Tim Hardaway Jr. tonight, 7 for 12 from the field for 58.3%. He had 16 points. He was 1 for 4 from the three-point line. Had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnovers, and 1 very crucial turnover, in my opinion, in the fourth quarter. The Knicks were down 103-100. Tim Hardaway tried to split 2 people. Turn the ball over. The Nuggets come down on the other end, knock down a 3, and it's a 6-point game. And I don't think the Knicks were ever truly in striking distance after that point. I mean, they were in striking distance. I guess they were in striking distance, but they were never truly a threat, in my opinion, after that. Emmanuel Mudiay tonight, 15 points, 7 for 20 from the field. He did have 9 assists. He also had 4 turnovers, 2 steals, 1 block. He was just all right. He was just all right. I don't know if he was pressing, but we've definitely seen better from Emmanuel Mudiay. I do like the 9 assists, though. Frank Ntilikina tonight, 10 points. He was 4 for 6 from the field. 2 for 3 from the three-point line, 5 assists, 1 steal. Played a decent game tonight. I would have liked to see him a little bit more down the stretch, but hey, I thought he was playing well. You ride it if you can, but I take it, I guess. And there's Cantor, 20 minutes tonight, 17 points, 12 rebounds still. And we're going to talk about Enes Kanter a little bit later on because he's been griping and groaning and moaning a little bit about his playing time. He's a little bit upset. We'll see. We'll talk about it. Damian Dotson tonight, 1 point, 0 rebounds, 3 assists. He only took 2 shot attempts, 2 field goal attempts tonight. Sometimes it happens that way. Something to look out for. Alonzo Trier tonight, 19 minutes, had 7 points, 33% from the field, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Those are the only players that played. Trey Burke did not touch the floor. Mario Hezonja did not touch the floor. Courtney Lee nor Lance Thomas got any playing time tonight. Now let's take a look at the Denver Nuggets. Juancho Hernan Gomez, Billy's brother, 8 points, 2 rebounds. Nikola Jokic had 19 points, 14 rebounds, 15 assists. And we all seen the triple-double coming at half. We talked about it at halftime. We knew this man was going to get a triple-double, right? He had triple-double assists before the half. He had like 6 rebounds before the half. He had 9 points before the half. The triple-double was coming. That guy can play. He can ball. He's huge too. But that guy can hoop. Mason Plumlee played 23 minutes, had 8 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Torrey Craig, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. And this was an area right here when we're talking about Craig. When we looked at the matchups before the game, I said, well, maybe this is one area that we win. Not really. Tim Hardaway had 16 points. Tim Hardaway also had 3 turnovers. You can argue the point that Craig outplayed Tim Hardaway if you want to. He shot 50% from the field. He's 2 for 5 from the three-point line, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, no turnovers. Jamal Murray, he's been tearing up the Western Conference. Not tonight. Had 8 points, 5 assists. Paul Millsap does Paul Millsap stuff. I like Paul Millsap. 16 points. Had 9 rebounds, 2 assists. Gary Harris had 6 points. Monte Morris had 5 points. And the surprise of the night, Malik Beasley, 23 points, 6 rebounds. The guy seemed to respond to everything that the Knicks did. The Nuggets just responded to everything that the Knicks did. We hit a shot, they come down and hit a shot to match it in that second half. Still, a game that you can build on. Right? A game that you can take with you. Right? What do I take away from this game? Well, I could take a lot from this game. What we've seen all season long is that the Knicks rise to the occasion when they play against teams that are considered top teams. They rise to the occasion. They have problems with the not so good teams, right? They struggle with the not so good teams for whatever reason. Is it lack of motivation? Is it that they sleep on those teams that aren't as good? We don't know. But for whatever the reason is, the Knicks have trouble getting up for those other teams. And that's how you get smacked by 40. Right? That's how you get smacked by 40. Yeah, I see my man, 4-Day Hip Hop. You see the NPC in the back. Yeah, we got the NPC in the back. I got some other stuff back here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my hip hop channel is coming out this week, so you can check that out. But anyway, that's how you get smacked by 40. When you sleep on teams. See, the Knicks, you look at the standings and you say, well, the Nuggets, the top team in the West, we better come with it, right? And then you're motivated to play for Emmanuel Mudiay. They said before the game that the game, it felt like when the Knicks went to Memphis and they were playing for David Fizdale. And at the time, the Memphis Grizzlies were the top team in the Western Conference. They were playing for David Fizdale because they wanted to win for David Fizdale. Tonight, they were playing for Emmanuel Mudiay. That's what they said in the pregame telecast. They were playing for Emmanuel Mudiay. They wanted to win for Mudiay. All right, so they needed some motivation. So how do we find that self-motivation for every game, every time we step on the floor? That's my question. How can Fizdale help the team to generate that self-motivation so that they don't need some kind of outside influence or outside source to be motivated? Right? You need, you need to be playing for David Fizdale or playing for Mudiay to be motivated. You need to be self-motivated. How do we generate that self-motivation? How can Fizdale generate that self-motivation? So that's one takeaway that I have from this game. I'm gonna get back to another one. Let me get to this phone call. Ron Martinez, what's popping, bro?
Hey, what's up, Sam? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, my man. How you feeling? I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
good. I'm good. So what's your takeaways from this game, man?
Well, to be honest with you, I was taking a nap before going to work, so I missed the game. So
Okay.
I was listening to the chat. I know you guys were talking about it, that even though it was another loss, but they played better, according to what you guys were saying. So
yeah, we played a lot better. We played a lot better. We were. We led just about the entire game.
Yeah.
We had an 82-80 lead at the end of the third quarter, but fourth quarter comes around, and the Nuggets know how to execute. And it's like Fizdale has said time and time again. The Knicks, when other teams step up, we don't know how to step up with them.
Right.
We don't know how to step up with them. That part of that is being a young team.
That's true. I mean, like I think I told you a while ago on one of our chats that for some of these new players on the Knicks, I guess now they're quickly learning that the Knicks will be in last place, but for some other teams, just like the Knicks get up for other teams. Well, other teams, even we could be at the bottom of the division. Other teams get up, like you said, they'll get up for the Knicks, so they know if they have a good game, they're going to be in the highlights. And so when you come to New York, you got to understand it doesn't matter if you're in first place or last place. These are the teams that get up for the Knicks, So
right.
It's like that, because you know how it is. These guys, when they play against, a big market team like the Lakers or the Knicks, they want to make a name for themselves. They want to be in the highlights, So we got to bring it every night.
Yeah, exactly. You got to bring it every night. You got to bring it. You do. You got to bring it every night, and that's what like, what can Fizdale do to make sure that the Knicks bring that are motivated every night. Yeah, I mean, I know you look and you say, well, the professionals,
Right.
they should be motivated to play, but they're still human beings, right? And you feel the way you feel, no matter how much money you make, no matter what you do, you feel the way that you feel. It's hard to control your feelings. You can only control your reactions to your feelings. And young guys sometimes don't know how to control their actions to their feelings. So if you feel lazy, or you feel like, okay, this is a team that we can beat or should beat, right? Or this is a team like they sorry, then you might step on the court without the same energy, because you're young. You don't know any better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like I mean, as a fan, I mean, I thought I was a diehard Knicks fan until I started listening to your chat, and you guys got me beat. Because I mean, you guys got more passion, and more love for them. I'm serious. I'm looking at you. I'm like, okay, this man has a business. He coaches, and he has to find the time and energy to come after a big ass whooping, to come on the chat, talk about these guys playing like dogs, and to you and the guys in the chat, I'll give you a mad props, because I sometimes don't even have the energy, especially after a long day at work, or if I had a bad day after whatever's going on in my life during that week, and you get on here night in, night out to talk about these guys. And I hope that someone in the front office at least listen to one of your shows to see that don't take the Knicks fans for granted, because it's not always going to be like this. I mean, it's been like this for a while, but man, you guys, I mean, if it was another market, forget about it. But you guys come in, night out, and I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how you do it, Sam, but it's crazy, man. So I imagine as a fan, we get burnt out. So you're right. So maybe these guys, this is their job. They're pros.
Yeah.
So you're saying, well, how you motivate, and that's why sometimes when it comes to coaching, like you said, this is why I probably separate some good coaches. But some guys are great at X and O's, but they're not motivators. So sometimes you have to have that coach that not just knows how to draw up a play, but how do you get these guys prepared and up and amped up for game time?
For game time, and especially when you're losing. Right. When you're losing, listen, losing is hard. I coach basketball, and I've been on a lot of teams. I've been on a lot of winning teams, but I've been on a lot of teams where we're doing a lot of losing, and it can eat at you. You know what I mean? Because it just doesn't feel good to lose on a regular basis. It just doesn't feel good.
Taste out your mouth. That it's like you said, that taste. It's like you have to get out of it. That becomes contagious.
Right. And it can, it can make you where you don't want to you don't want to go to practice. You don't want to go to the game because you don't want to feel that feeling. You don't want that feeling again. And you feel like it's coming. Yeah. I know it's coming. You know what I mean? And it takes a coach. It takes a really good coach to keep a team up, even. To keep a team up, to keep them motivated, to keep them out there playing hard every single night when you're losing like that, and to not start bickering with each other, because naturally it happens, man. You're losing every single game. Naturally, you're gonna start coming at each other, and think about it.
And it's crazy, like you say, because I'm like, okay, well, right now, I guess he gets a pass. He's his first year coach, and it's a young team. But eventually, year 2, year 3, this cannot continue, because the way things. I heard you in one of your other shows. Like you said, you want to see some development going on with this team, especially in the second half, even if they don't make the playoffs. Because right now, my question to you is, if you can go into a crystal ball right now with the team, the way besides other than Porzingis, who would you say on our squad right now? Because sometimes when I hear the different people in your chat talking about, they get a little technical, but sometimes we got to keep it simple. It's like, okay, who on this squad besides Porzingis can you see being a starter on a contender now or in the future? That you can say, okay, I can see this guy be not a role player, but who do we have right now on our starting five? You say, okay, he is a starter on a championship team besides Porzingis.
Right now, I mean,
if you had to put your money, if you had to put your paycheck on it and say, okay, I can see this guy being a star. on a contender right now or a contender for the Knicks in 2-3 years? Besides Porzingis.
Kevin Knox.
Okay, so that's 2.
Kevin Knox. I'm starting to feel like Noah Vonleh maybe.
Okay, that's 3.
Right.
Okay. Start as a starter, right?
Yeah, as a starter, maybe Noah Vonleh. And right now, depending on people's development, I mean, if I'm just being real, not what I think someone might be,
right?
Like 3 or 4 years, but just looking right now and saying, you know what, this is a surefire thing. Right. Really, I'm really, if I'm saying a surefire thing, I'm really just gonna say KP and Kevin Knox right now. If I'm saying surefire, everyone else, I need to see more. Frank, I think he could be there one day, but I gotta see it, right? I gotta see it consistently. Right.
I think it's a legitimate question just for the fact of, because we do know that if we know it, this year will be over. We'll be in year 2. Yeah. Come to year 3, it's like, okay, the Knicks will have to start asking them some serious questions to you. Yeah. Okay, we want to develop players. We want to sign. We don't want to sign. I mean, because obviously every year they want to pick up a free agent, but if the goal is to develop players, then you have to ask yourself, in 2-3, like Curry and Thompson, they were bench players, and they became, great players. But the thing is, do we have a Curry in the making and a Thompson in the making here right now? Because I don't see it. I mean,
we'll see. It's tough. It's going to depend on. It really is going to depend on how this coaching staff can develop these guys and bring them along.
Right.
It's really just gonna depend on that, I think. So right. Yeah, man. That's a great question. Really great question, and it's hard to say right now.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We the Knicks have a history, of course. Like, cause you keep hearing Steve Mills says we're not doing no shortcuts. We're not, and I get that. Okay, fine, but eventually you can't be year 3, year 4 say we're still developing. No, we have to. What is what's the plan here? Is it a 3-year plan? Is it a 5-year plan? I understand this year, is already gone. It's a wash. We'll come to year 3, year 4. I can't be here in the front office telling the fans, "Hey, we're still developing." No.
Right.
This,
Yeah, man. I mean,
what I'm saying? What are we doing here?
Yeah, I mean, if you look, when we get to year 3, year 4, for me, right, like next year, maybe the year after is the year that I need to see Frank like really taking them steps. That's me. And like I give that 3-year grace period, maybe a 4-year grace period, depending on, the age and stuff like that, right? Because I mean the players just come in so young and raw nowadays. And you still got Kevin Knox who's gonna probably get that 3-year grace period. Mitchell Robinson's gonna get that 3-year grace period. I'm not too sure about Trier because Trier's he's older. Right, Trier's already 22 years old. Trier, I think, is about to be 23 years old. Right.
Right. And he did he go 4 years in college?
I'm not sure what year he was in. At least 3 years. I'm not sure what year he was in when he came out.
I think 3 years. The only reason I asked that is because, for example, because I don't know if you heard the comment the other day that Mark Cuban made. I don't know if you heard the comment about. I don't know if he was taking a shot at Dennis Smith Jr. and his team, but he was talking about his the rookie. What's his name again?
Doncic.
From Dallas. Yeah.
Luka.
He's only 19 years old, but as far as you see his skill wise and the maturity, how he plays, and I guess Mark Cuban made a comment the other day. He said that a lot of the players, American ball players, they're just caught up in being on a mixtape on YouTube. But of course, in Europe, you can't compare those ball players, how they're being developed versus, right now you have AAU here and college ball players here, but some of those guys over there, they eat basketball day in, night and day. So they come into the league at 19, you're like, man, this guy's playing like a vet.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man.
Because he's the same age as Knox, right? They're about the same age, right?
Yeah, I think they're about the same age. I think one of the differences, though, I think, like the maturity and just, if you look at a lot of these guys, a lot of these guys that come up from overseas, they're more mature, like emotionally, right? Just more mature people, it seems like, than our kids here in America. That's just my opinion. And like our kids get babied a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like if a guy's really good, they get babied. They don't have to pay these fees. They don't have to pay for this. They don't have to do that. They kind of get babied. It's different there.
A little pampered.
Yeah, they get pampered. Yeah. It's a little bit different there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're a young guy, you might be nice, but you still might be coming off the bench. You might be the best player on the team, but you still might not be getting playing time because, the respect factor of older players on the team and stuff like that. So, the cultures are definitely different in the way that, kids and people
and depending on what league you play in, because in some of those leagues, European leagues, those cats who are 60, these kids are 60 years old, they're playing against old cats. They're playing against grown men.
Yeah, right, exactly, man.
So they're used to, that physicality. When they come to the NBA, they're like, listen, I've been playing against grown men since I was 16, for the last 3-4 years, I've been grown men. And then in college, they're playing against guys their age, It's so when it comes into the NBA, it's like, okay, now you have to wait for this guy to develop a couple of years, and this guy's coming from overseas, 19 years old, like this guy's taking over.
Yeah, I mean, because when you look at him play, man, when I seen him play the first time I ever seen him play, I was like, man, he looks like a vet out there. He does. Yeah. Hey, Ron, man,
and he's not so much of above the rim player either. I mean, he can get up there, but below the rim, he's got a lot of skills.
Yeah, exactly. He's very crafty, very, very crafty. Yep. Yeah. Hey, Ron, I appreciate the call, man.
All right, Sam.
Yeah, haven't heard from you in a while. I know sometimes I see you and I might miss you or something like that. So I appreciate you, man.
I know, you got a lot of people in the chat, though. I figure let me just check in now. Let me see if I can check in and give you a holler and let you know that, hey, I'm still supporting you. Just that some nights I'm not on the check. I may either be working. Or I may be taking a nap before I go to work. I work nights. I work a graveyard shift.
Okay. So. Yeah, well, be safe out there, my man. Be safe out there. I appreciate it.
All right, Sam.
All right, later. Peace.
All right, later, bro.
Yeah. I mean, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? It's true, man. There's a big difference between European players and American players. It just is. And I seen someone ask in the chat, said, well, why do we got to keep boosting Frank Ntilikina's confidence every game, I think when it comes to Frank, every player is going to be different. Just because, you have a group of players that come this way, it's not going to be like that for every player. So, I mean, it's just that. But I think Frank, there's just this whole thing of people ain't sure, the Knicks, whoever, they're not sure where he's going to play. There's just some things up in the air about the guy. We'll see what happens there. You know what I mean? But that was a great question for Ron about, who do we see as a bona fide, just is going to be a key player on a championship or very good team. And right now, the only two players I can really point to me, is KP and Knox. We'll see what happens with Frank. We'll see what happens with Mitchell Robinson, Damian Dotson, Trier, Trier and Damian Dotson, they're 22 years old. Trier's 22, is going to be 23 years old. He still has time to develop, but he's a little bit closer to his ceiling. Same thing about Damian Dotson, a little bit closer to his ceiling. Moutier, a little bit closer to his ceiling, but he's been in the, this is his fourth year in the league. So we'll see how that goes. Carly on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
What's up, Sam?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, 315, man. I ain't been on in a while, but I've been catching the shows.
I appreciate it. 315, man. That's
Newark, New York, up there where you used to stay at, close by.
That's around my old stomping grounds a long time ago.
Oh yes. Sam, I got something to say here, man. These guys should be motivated because some of these guys on a 1-year contract.
True.
If that don't motivate you, to go out there and play hard. I don't know what to do. Come on, you guys on 1-year contracts.
That's true.
And they playing like, sometimes I look at some of these guys, they look like they don't have an effort.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't get it. I mean, you playing a game that we all would love to play. We all would love to be in the NBA, one time in our lives. But these guys are so pampered, they don't appreciate it. I don't think they appreciate what they have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Some guys don't, man.
Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, I was going to say, some guys don't. I'll tell you one guy who I think always does, he appreciates it. I think Trey Burke definitely appreciates it because of what he's been through and almost out the league. I think he plays hard every time he comes in the game. All of our players don't.
Yeah, most of the players don't. But like I said, he's not even playing right now.
Right, he's not even playing.
So, and he got the tendency of sulking a little bit. But
yeah, he does.
Yeah, but the problem with the Knicks is their IQ, basketball IQ is terrible, Sam.
Yeah.
Like they don't do, like today, I'm watching a game. On foul shots, they're not boxing out. They have about, 14 offensive rebounds today? You got to when you got to get that ball, you got to hustle. You got to have the desire to get those rebounds. And they don't do that. I know I'm like 60 years old. I played in the 70s. So I'm like, come on, man. You got to go out there and you got to get the ball. That's what the coach used to tell us. You got to go out there and grab the ball, box out, and play fundamental basketball. But I don't see that with this team.
And we don't. I mean, we don't play a lot of fundamental basketball. Some of that is, Coach Fizdale has to coach it and teach it. You would think in the NBA that you don't have to, but I keep saying time and time again, the NBA is different now. We got a lot of kids coming into the NBA that don't get the same kind of coaching. So you've got to do a lot of teaching in the NBA today. And it takes a while. Now some things, like you said, boxing out, some of those little things, you just got to emphasize it, right? You got to emphasize it, do drills and things like that. And then you start to see it in the game. And if you're not doing those type of drills and things like that in practice, then it's not going to translate into the game. You're not going to see it. And
also, they don't make foul shots. This team should be making. When you a team like the Knicks, mediocre, you got to make and get points any way you can. You got to make foul shots. And they miss a lot of foul shots. And I remember what we used to do when I played. You got to make at least 10 foul shots under pressure, or otherwise you going to stay in that gym until you do.
Yeah.
So, I know it's different now. Basketball is a lot different. It's pampered players. But, come on, Sim, you should be able to make some foul shots, though.
Yeah, I mean, you should, man. You should. What we shoot today? We shot 72% from the free throw line today. Some of that is focus, right? Yeah, I mean, from the free throw line, a lot of the free throw line is focus. I will say, I'm not totally enamored with the job that Fizdale is doing, but I'm not against him. I do know that he has a task cut out for him. He's got a tough task this year, dealing with guys on 1-year contracts, young players, veterans that like Lance Thomas and Courtney Lee, who were just, I mean, let's be real. This is their careers, right? And when you talk about someone like Courtney Lee, he's making $12 million a year, but you best believe he's going to want one last contract before he retires. I think Courtney Lee's like 32 years old. Right, he's gonna want one last contract, and that. But he's on the bench. He's not playing, right? And teams look at that. They may not say, "Well, he's not that good of a player." They may understand the situation, but they also may think he hasn't really played in a year. Let's say talk about next year if they want to trade for him or whatever it is. Can he still play? You know what I mean? He's 32, 33 years old. Yeah. He's getting older. He hasn't really played that much in the last year. Can he still play? So these are guys' careers that you're talking about. And I'm pretty sure Fizdale is cognizant of that. That, these are these guys' careers. So, it's it's a tough situation for David Fizdale. I don't envy that. Although if I was in that situation, I would just say, you know what, and I'm sure he's doing it. The only thing you can do is what you think is best, and live or die with it. You know. So I don't envy him. It's a tough situation, but even given that, you can still work on, you know, you can still work on those fundamentals and the little things that that help you win basketball games. Even with that type of situation, you can still work on those type of things, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, Sam, you know, I hope you had a great New Year. I'm broke now.
Yeah.
I got 11 grandkids, man. I am broke.
I feel you, man. Yeah, I'm with you. I know.
Man,
yeah. Well, you got 11 of them. Mine are just starting. You know, I have a granddaughter, and in February I'm about to have a grandson. So they just.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, Mark.
We get dominated by boys, and I have 5 boys, and I got 7 grandsons and only 2 granddaughters.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Well, congratulations. This is beautiful families, man.
Yeah, I try to get some of them on the court, but you know, all they into is Fortnite and all that stuff, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, my granddaughter.
It was good talking to you, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
But I got to get back on a little more.
All right. Yeah, I'd love to have you back on, man. Looking forward to it.
All right, shout out to the chat. Isaiah! All right, bye, Tim.
Later, man. Yeah, I'd like to hear people that have, you know, hopefully everybody enjoyed your holidays with your families, man. My granddaughter is just starting to play basketball, fellas. She's just picking up a basketball now. So, you know, that's, we be on the lookout. Well, she's only 2 years old, so, you know, but anyway. Or gonna be 2 years old. So be on the lookout. Be on the lookout in a few years, in like 10 years or something. See where she's developing to. But anyway, you know, that's my biggest takeaway from the game is how do we get the Knicks to be motivated on a regular basis? You know, not just for games that they feel like they need to get up for. How do we get them to be motivated? Continuously motivated. You know what I'm saying? Continuously motivated. Any other takeaways? I see the potential of Luke Cornett and how he can really impact the game, especially a night like tonight. He had 19 points. How he can impact the game, how he can spread the floor, and open up the driving lanes for people like Emmanuel Mudiay, Trey Burke, Frank Ntilikina, or whatever guards we have coming in the future. Right? He can open up those driving lanes. All right. Before I move on to the video chat, just want to give you a quick reminder. All right, real quick reminder. We have 8 tickets left for the Martin Luther King Day matinee. 8 tickets left, ladies and gentlemen. Just 8. All right, so if you don't have a ticket and you want to be there, make sure you get your ticket now. All right, join us there. Join us. You get a private lounge on Chase Bridge. Food and non-alcoholic beverages are included. Courtside during the pregame shoot-around. Be part of Nothing But Knicks live stream. And just added to the package, after the game, we'll get to go on the court. This is just added. We're still working out the details, but we should get to go on to the court for either free throws or a picture on the Garden Court. So if you've never been on the Garden Court, this is your chance. This is your chance. All right. So I'm putting a link. There's a link right here. You can get your tickets right now. Get them because they're going to be gone by the end of this week. I can guarantee it. They'll be gone by the end of this week. If you want to get your tickets, get them right now. Links in the chat. And before I move on to get back to the video chat, pictures from opening night. We did the same thing on opening night. We had us a lounge. We had a great time. Great time. The pictures from opening night. People who were there. we hung out, we ate together, we talked, we watched the game, we watched Trier come down the lane and dunk on the Atlanta Hawks. It was a great night, a great start to the season. You know what I mean? So, be part of it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're part of it. You don't want to miss it. It's a real fun time. You know what I mean? Come out and join us. Come out and join us and, be a part of everything that goes down when you come to a Nothing But Knicks event. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back to the video chat, folks, and see what's going on. I want to see what you guys take away. Rob the Knick. I'm coming to Rob the Knick because I know he's been waiting for a minute, probably arguing with the guys in the chat. Been waiting for a minute. Rob, what's popping, man? I'm sorry to keep you waiting for so long.
That's good. That's good. Everything all right. What's going on with you? How was your New Year?
Oh, it was great. How was yours?
Mine was the same. I was the same. Just had to put up my big Nick TV. Just bought a 70-inch, put that on the wall so I can enjoy that and watch the chat at the same time.
Nice.
I just had to get everything going at the same time. But, yeah. But as far as like that question that old guy asked about the who do I see as being a starting player on a championship team, hands down, you got to say Trier because he's 22 now. I say that you get to your ceiling at about 26. You make a couple of trips around the NBA. You learn players. You learn where you're shot at. He's in the league right now doing what a lot of people are not doing with less opportunity. So I'm saying like a couple times around the league, you put him there, I think he can be a championship guard for you.
Okay.
I think that Frank can get there with the help of Porzingis. And I say that just because Frank seems to be a pass first point guard and he needs somebody to go to when he's in trouble with the ball and cut down the decision making unless he's doing it. If he has to come down the court and pass the ball inside, seems like that works to his benefit than running a whole show. Frank looks like he'll be better in a half-court offense other than a fast break. Trier looks like he can play either one, and it looks like Fizdale is just trying Trier at a whole bunch of different things right now. That's why it looks like his stats are coming down a little bit because he's doing a whole lot more than just shooting now. He's recognizing the floor, he's shooting less, and he's passing the ball a little bit more better. I think that'll work for him as his future is concerned. And you got to say Kevin Knox for right now, he's the maybe to me.
You think so?
He's the maybe. Yeah, he's the maybe right now. But he's 19, so I'm not giving in on it yet. But he hasn't shown me, from what I can see, that he is that guy that can be there. But he looks like he can be. He's 19. He hasn't shown that. The maturity of Trier shows me that, okay, yeah, he understands the game, and he'll play it in the system, any system that's working. Knox haven't shown me that yet. Maybe he's going to come down the line. And, of course, KP, you got to put him there. So
yes,
everybody else, it looks like we have a couple of role players because I'm starting to like the hell out of Cornette and Bondelay. I'm starting to like the hell out of them. Mm-hmm. So, I read an article today, like as far as like the Denver Nuggets process. That team has been playing together for like 4 years. I didn't know that until this weekend. And without a star player, because Millsap just got there
last year,
and
Millsap got there last year.
They know last year. They know where everybody is at on the floor with them. So you can see the cohesiveness when they play. And this is without a superstar. You add say for example, you add Anthony Davis to that team, they'll roll over a lot of teams in the West right now, just with that one addition. Mm-hmm. And that's what we should be looking at doing. Maybe this year free agency ain't for us because there's too many changes that we will have to make with the nucleus of the team. Let's pick up this pick that we're going to get, play together some more, work out the kinks, because this is player development. And that doesn't really necessarily mean team development. you know, we got to recognize who we might want to keep. So as players, that this player may fit with Porzingis, this player may not. In order for us to see that, we got to like pretty much let them play freestyle. We're not going to the playoffs. Go out there, play hard, see what your skill set is, and see if we can use that going forward in New York.
Okay.
If we can't, you show that you can play, and maybe somebody else will pick you up.
Okay.
So that's the way I'm pretty much looking at it right now. We played hard today. It was a good game. Came down to the end. Hardaway did mess up when he tried to split the double team. I don't know. But it was a play before that. Sims, did you see the play when he shot the long three? And I think the guy that was announcing said, well, no, that was a long one.
Yeah.
And then the other guy came right back outside and hit a three.
Yep.
And you know, that's what should sell Hardaway, because the basketball guards are never kind to you like that. You take a bad shot like that, you come back down on the other end. I already knew. I already counted it up that three was going in. And that's exactly what it did. None but splash. So when you see something like that should tell you, well, I'm not going to do that anymore. Mm-hmm. Hardaway seems to be dumb of that.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that happens, because when you shoot a long three, you shoot a three, you're expecting long rebounds. And when you have long rebounds, you're going to have a lot of wide open fast breaks, without defense there. You know what I mean? One thing about the Denver Nuggets, I think, the Nuggets, the reason why in my opinion, that they've grown to be who they are right now is because when they started adding pieces 2 years ago, right, they were kind of in the same boat as us, as the Knicks, right? Mm-hmm. In the same boat. But I think they had an idea of how they wanted to play and the type of team that they wanted to be and what they wanted to do. They had an idea, right? And they started fitting pieces in with that idea. They started putting those pieces in place, right? People looked in and they gave Paul Millsap a contract. And even me, I was like, whoa, they gave him a serious contract. I don't know. But they knew, right? They said, okay, he's going to fit. Here's this puzzle piece.
That's who,
right.
Yeah, that was the piece that they wanted.
Exactly.
They identified him. But before then, they did what we did. You got to roll the ball out on the floor and see who you want.
I mean,
because right now you don't have anybody. Porzingis is hurt. Roll the ball out there, see who you want. And then after that, like, they gave us Moutier. They drafted him with the 7th pick, but then they liked Murray better. So they rolled him out there. So we don't know what pieces we might have to shuffle to get the style of play that we might be wanting to play in the future. But if you're talking about some defense and things like that, this team doesn't play defense for two reasons. To me, first, they're young. They got to know their way around the league and players and how players are playing. Uh-huh. And right now, we don't have enough information to really guard. These players are more physical, more bigger. You might be in the right position to stop this guy, but you still just can't stop him because he's still more physical than you.
Well, that's true.
So you got to, and you got to know tendencies. Yeah. And right now, we don't know either. We're still weak, and we don't know no tendencies of any player in the league because we haven't really seen. So we have to, it's growing pain. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's definitely growing pains. There's definitely a lot of growing pains with the Knicks right now. I think that the Nuggets had an idea long. They had they went through a period. I mean, they weren't in the same exact situation as us. Looking at their records, they after they traded Melo, they won 57 games, then they won 36 games. 14-15 they won 30 games, 15-16 33 games, 16-17 40 games. They never really dipped really low, right? They were,
but they changed the roster though.
They switched up. But I think mostly they switched up coaching. I mean? They had Brian Shaw, Then when they went from Brian Shaw to Malone, that's when you started seeing them really, their culture and the way that they play start to change. But they had some pieces. They had some pieces there. I mean, of course, they did some switching around of players. Obviously, I mean, that happens on every team every year. Because
OD was the 41st pick of the second round, and he killed us with the triple double. He was the 41st pick.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much their staple right there.
I mean, that's scouting. You know what I'm saying? That's good scouting. Knowing what you're looking for, what you're trying to do.
Probably didn't know what they got Sims until they put him on that team. Because if they thought he was going to be that, they would have picked him early, no matter what nobody said. They put him on the team and they developed.
I mean, I don't know. A lot depends on what happens. Because, like, for example, you look at Alonzo Trier, the Knicks were actually going to try to, the Knicks were going to draft. They had told Trier that they were going to draft him in the second round, right?
Yeah.
Right at the last minute, they called them up. Now, they knew, and I think they felt that Trier could be good. But then, right at the last minute, they decided we needed a big. We're going to go get Mitchell Robinson, and hoped that Trier, was going to be there.
But they didn't know he was going to make the team.
You know what I'm saying? You know what? I think I disagree there. I think a lot of teams knew that he could play, right? I think that they were just scared of. I think they thought that Trier had, behavior stuff going on. I think a lot of teams knew he could play ball. You know what I'm saying? These guys.
Yeah, but his thing wasn't really behavior.
I know.
His thing was more about the accident and the steroid,
right?
Which got wrong.
Right, but what I'm saying is, I think that right there, I think that scared teams off, because listen, these teams know what guys can do well before they get to college and get to the draft. They've seen these players for years and years and years and years and years, and Trier's been around. Like he's been around and known as a guy that can really hoop for a while. I think a lot of teams were scared off by that, and I mean, good thing for the Knicks. So, you can't just say with Jokic that they didn't, maybe they were like, you know what, teams aren't trying to draft him. We can get him late. Let's get this person because we're going to be able to get him late. You never know how that stuff goes. But anyway, takeaways from tonight. You have any takeaways from tonight?
Well, I seen that Frank played better, and Knox. You know what? I think that Fizdale need to tell Knox, just for his own development, stay away from the 3-point shot for a while. Not just because he can't hit it, but you don't want him to get comfortable with it like Timmy, thinking that that's all you can do.
Yeah.
He need to put that in his back pocket for right now and develop all different aspects of his game.
Okay.
And as far as Vondelay. Quit trying to dribble in traffic. You stay away from that and secure the ball, because that's still right under the basket. That hurt us too.
Yeah.
When he just got picked right under the basket just because he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. All right.
So we can't have the mental lapses in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's basically that victory. We were in that second half, at the end of the second half, 10-point lead. We missed every layup because we was comfortable with the 10-point lead.
Yeah.
It didn't cost us in the second half.
Yeah. And right.
We need to stay a little bit more mentally focused when we playing, and just like this here, just keep up the good work. Play hard and play hard. That's it. That's all we can ask, and develop these players. Not team development, player development, because I don't know who we gonna keep. But I want everybody to play good, so if we trade your ass, we can get something for you.
All right. And I you say no team development, just player development. I disagree with you there, because I think, if you're developing players, I mean, you're developing your team, but I think you've got to start to know you need something to put pieces into. I think you need something to put pieces into. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because if you just I like this person, I like that person, I like that person, right? But you don't know why you like that person, then I don't think it matters. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know why this person is, like, I understand what you're saying about, right now we're just trying players out. But what are you trying players out for? That's what my question is. If you're just trying players out, what are you trying? I run tryouts every single year. I run tryouts, right? And now I've had, certain things that I've done for a very long time, plays and things like that. Every year they get adjusted and we switch it up a little bit based on who we have come in. But I understand what it is a lot that I like to do and how I like to play. I understand how I want to space the floor, the style of, if I want to play, I like to play an attacking style. I like to have a point guard that gets the ball up the floor, gets the ball out the players on the perimeter, can attack the basket when need be. But mostly I like to have a point guard that can control the game, right? So, and be my eyes, ears, and voice on the floor. That's what I like. So when I'm holding tryouts, and I know the certain sets that I have, I'm looking for players that fit into those sets. I'm looking for players that fit into my system. And a system doesn't always have to, I think a lot of people get confused about systems and think that a system just has to be, you just straight up come up and run these plays every single time up the floor. That's not what a system is. You know what I mean? A system, just gives you a set of actions that you do. If this happens, then you do this. If this happens, then you do this. If things are not happening, then we can break down, and here is our base, right? We have a base that we do. Maybe your base is just a simple read and react. Maybe your base is the triangle. Maybe your base is the principal offense, right? You know what I'm saying? So you have a base that you can break down to when everything else starts to fall apart. But you have a base, and you know what that base is and what it does. So now you can go find players that fit inside that base of a system. Even if you don't run that, these set plays, it's not about set plays. It's just a system of playing and how you want to play the game. The principles behind how you play the game. So you want to find players that fit inside those principles, in my opinion. So if you are saying we don't have a system because we don't have players yet, I think that's backwards, in my opinion. I think it's backwards. I think you have a system and then you fit players inside of a system. Whatever your system is, your system, if you say I'm going to have a free-flowing system, if you say, my system is going to be no plays, maybe that is your system. My system is no plays. We just play basketball because we understand how to play the game. Then that means you got to find players that know how to do what it is you want to do. Find players that have a high basketball IQ so they can just go out and play the basketball game, right? But you got to understand what your system is or what your philosophy or principles of play is so that you can find your players. So if you're just holding a tryout, we're just going to do a tryout and we're going to take players that we think are good. But if you don't have a system, if you don't know how you're fitting them together like puzzle pieces, then I don't think they're going to be good because you're just putting talent together and expecting them to be good without actually putting them together so that they complement each other. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think you've got to have a philosophy of play, a style of play before you go out and get your players. Right? So then that way you can fit your players into your style of play, into your philosophy, into your brand. You know what I'm saying? You fit them into your brand. Machiavelli, no, systems are not predictable. Not when you're talking about basketball. Systems are principles of play, the principles of it. Right? When you're talking about basketball, it's the principles of it. It's not just we come down and run these set plays. It's not about set plays. It's about the principle, the philosophy behind your style of play. Are you a run and gun team? Right? Are you a hard-nosed defensive team that's going to, whatever, grind it out? Are you that type of team? do you have a freelance system? Is your system just all about freelance? Which I think Fizdale's is, which, I mean, maybe that's what it is his system is all about freelance, but you've got to have players that fit inside whatever your philosophy of play is. So a system. So maybe I'll stop saying system. Maybe just a philosophy of play. But you've got to have players that fit inside your philosophy of play. And if you don't know what your philosophy is, then how are you going to choose players? You're just gonna choose players that you think are good? You gotta have people that complement each other and fit together, which is the reason why I think Denver has risen, quietly, because they understood their philosophy, their style, their system, and they put pieces together to play that style of basketball. I don't think it was by mistake. I think it was by design. Now, did they think that they were going to be this good at, this year like they are? Maybe not. I don't know. And it's still we'll still see if they're going to, if they end up being where they are now. The West is all jumbled up. You know what I mean? We'll see if they continue to be where they are. But that's just my idea. I could be wrong. Like I said, I've had winning teams and I've had some bad teams. So I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. Let me see. Jersey Shore, what do you think, man? What's your take on
it? The system that you're talking about, we understand that we want players to push the ball up. Now, I saw Knox in the first quarter. Now, my man, he mentioned Knox looking at that three. Now, when he first started, he was a little shaky. The boy can shoot. He can shoot the three. Now, the first 5 or 6 baskets he made, they were 3-point plays because he got drove off the line and he drove the ball to the basket. Mm-hmm. Now, that's exactly what we want him to do. Now, my gripe with Knox is I need him to pull down at least 7 to 8 rebounds. The boy's 6'10", but it's going to come when the defensive schemes get better. Right now, we're a little loosey-goosey, and it is because we're young. My son, my youngest son, we talk about this draft, and he's been killing me with this Zion. Mm. I'm not looking for a Zion. I like Knox. I like Knox at the small forward because if KP's not going to play center, he's going to play the 4, and we're hoping that Mitchell Robinson is going to be that guy who just makes people miss at the rim. But that's 2 years down the line, like you said. Ntilikina plays the offense just like he was taught. He pushes the ball forward because I don't care what you say, a pass gets you the best shot versus dribbling. That's always been the case. Anytime when you see teams get 15 and 20 assists a game, they're not passing the ball. When you get 25, 30 assists a game, you get a lot of open shots because you're passing the ball and everybody is in rhythm. When Frank Ntilikina hits those shots, he's in rhythm. Cornette, you saw Cornette, they put a little pressure on him. He couldn't get that rhythm. He didn't shoot the shot. He passed it back off. Mm. Now, I like Cornette. I think, hey, KP comes out. I would certainly put Cornette in there, especially with Robinson pulling down rebounds. But that's going to come. So I'm looking for my shooting guard. I thought my shooting guard was going to be Dotson, but Terrier came on the scene and he got a little tiger in his tank, as they say. Yeah. So he's looking as though he's going to take Dotson's spot, But Dotson needs to find his shot. He lost it again. This is second go round losing his shot. If he can't find it by the end of the season, we're going to have to look to package him and leave. Hardaway, as much as I don't hate to say I'd like to get rid of Hardaway, because I'd pay Hardaway $17 million if he could come off the bench. He's bigger than Burke, and he's a scorer. So his defense is so porous. I can't have him starting anymore. I got to bring him off the bench.
Yeah. His defense is definitely porous, and his decision making is faulty.
It hasn't gotten better after being. See, I knew it when he turned 25. See, I have children. All my children are over 25, and I know that boys' medulla oblongata doesn't fully develop till they're 25. I understand that he had to take on a role because. And as wild as it is, what did you say this morning? I listened to your podcast. He's third in the league in 3-pointers percentage or something like that. I mean, hell, he's got to shoot. But it's when he comes down in the flow and. Damn it, man! You 8 feet behind the 3-point line. We don't. I need you to go to the basket and get that foul.
Yeah.
But his handle, the first step is, if he can't get that first step, he's in trouble. And that's what kills me. I'm like, damn it, man! I've seen more times than not where, oh man, I just want to, he just shoots himself in the foot, but he is the only one out there that's got that energy because he's got more time on the floor than everybody else does, And Vonleh need to hit more than 3-pointers, and like my man said, he need to stop push the ball up by passing. We don't push the ball up by dribbling. We push the ball up by passing. You see how Ntilikina on the wing pushed the ball to Knox. Knox went straight to the basket like he was supposed to. That's what Fizdale wants. You're supposed to push the ball. Dribbling's not going to get the ball down the court faster than the pass. Yeah. That's never been that way, with the exception, I'm sorry, of Russell Westbrooks and people like that. I mean, this cat can almost run as fast as you can pass, dribble the ball, but he's an exception to the rule.
Uh-huh. and that's lost in the NBA today. Everything is so based on guards, right? Coming up from AAU ball all the way up, right?
Sure.
And guards naturally want to dribble the ball. And today, guards aren't learning to, like you said, pass the ball up the sideline, get the ball up the floor. Guards are learning to dribble the ball up the floor and break defenses down. That's what everybody wants, the guard to dribble it up and break the defense down. And when the guard passes the ball up the sideline or passes the ball ahead, people are like, well, why didn't you break the defense down? Why didn't you break the defense down? So it's kind of lost. It's kind of lost today, but that still is true. It still is true that you can beat the defense up the floor by passing more than dribbling. Especially, and that's how you get your fast breaks going. Right now, when you're in a half-court set, you do got to have guards that, when things break down, can break down the defense. Clearly, you do, but that doesn't have to be the first option. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can beat the defense up the floor, that's what D'Antoni's system was all about. Let's beat the defense up the floor. You know what I'm saying? Let's beat the defense up the floor and get a shot early. Get a shot early in the shot clock. But it wasn't just get any shot, a good shot, right? And it would beat the defense up the floor by passing the ball ahead, getting it up the floor, getting a good shot up, right? And that was his philosophy of play. And so he had certain principles that were taught to players. When the screen comes high and you go to the basket and the guard comes off the screen going to the basket, you float to the corner. You know, there are certain principles.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then he went out and found players to fit inside that system of play, right? But it was based on pushing that ball up the floor, pushing it ahead, try to score while the defense was backpedaling, while the defense
was backing up. Right.
Was backing up. And what did that do?
Yep.
That stopped teams from sending their players to the offensive glass, right? Because they were afraid you send 2 or 3 players to the offensive glass, they were getting out, they were up the floor, and they were scoring before you knew it. Right.
You know, that is I've been watching. We don't crash the boards enough. I mean, the people who do crash the boards aren't always in the game, and the starters that they've been having. I need Frank to pull down more rebounds as well. This cat's supposed, he's supposed to be the elite defender, but I need him pulling down more rebounds. But his minutes, everybody's got to get into a groove. It's and with him, his motor's a little slow. It takes him a little while to get going.
Yeah. He's definitely the kind of player. Frank is never going to be instant offense type of dude. He's definitely the kind of player that he needs a couple minutes to get going and get into the game. Right. And B-baller for real.
Well, he's a pass first playmaker. Yeah. That's how he was brought up, and that's how Europeans play. I mean, it is an open game, but they do a lot of pick and roll play too, which we don't do very well. Cantor, he's a back to the basket player, so if you give him the ball, and Ntilikina cut 3 times down the middle, but Cantor got his back to the basket, so he's not seeing anybody.
Yeah.
So he's not long either. No, he ain't never gonna see. He saw Mario.
Who did?
He saw Mario.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, I will say this. There's a few people who watched Ntilikina go through the lane and not pass him the ball. Kimmy, Alonzo. We need to do better with that.
Yeah.
Alonzo, he is that shoot first mentality, and if he's going to be a starter on his team and take Timmy's spot, his game is going to have to get more rounded, which it will, because he's only 22 years old. You got to give him at least 3 more years. I mean, just like Frank. Frank's got 150 games under his belt. He's only 20 still. Right. He's gonna get it. He's not slow. He's faster than people think he is. Plus, he's got the mindset to dish the ball to the open man, and that's what the game of basketball is about.
That's it. Now I want to get folks, if you want to call in, give me a call, 516-405-2246. I want to ask you about Enes Kanter and B-ball for real. Yes, you're right. The D'Antoni system was 7 seconds or less, and I mean, they played beautiful basketball. I don't know if they were able to really knuckle down in the playoffs and play that fourth quarter type of basketball, that half court type of basketball that can get you some wins when you need to, when defenses start to slow you up. I don't know, that one year, maybe they would have won that. They would have been to the finals maybe that one year. Amari was out. I forgot who else was out. They had suspensions and all that stuff. Maybe they would have got there. Who knows? But anyway, Enes Kanter. We know about Enes Kanter, what's been going on the past couple of days with Enes Kanter in the media, talking about, he doesn't know why he's being shut down so early. His goal was to make the All-Star team, but he can't do that if he's not on the court and all this stuff. You know what I mean? It seems clear. Look, it's very clear that Enes Kanter is not going to be the future center of the New York Knicks, right? And so right now he is disgruntled, to say the least, that he's not playing. And, and look, Cantor strikes me as the kind of guy that he could have had conversations with Coach Fizdale and the Scott Perry or whoever else, but because he didn't get in the game, he'll have something to say. You know what I mean? He strikes me as that kind of guy. On the other hand, Courtney Lee is like, I'm not going to say anything negative. Other teams are watching. Right? And he's like, I'm going to do whatever I need to do, whatever the coach commissions me with to help this team, that's what I'm going to do. That's Courtney Lee's take on it. Two very contrasting styles between Courtney Lee and Enes Kanter. Right? What do we do with Kanter at this point? I see a lot of people say trade him. I'm not sure if that's in the best interest of the team right now, because if you trade Kanter makes $18 million this year. If you trade Kanter, you're probably going to be trading him to a team that is also looking to free up cap space for 2019. Right? So what's that mean? That means that team, they don't want to trade for Kanter, and they're not going to trade someone else whose contract is expiring. They want to get rid of money. They want to send back to the Knicks a player whose contract goes beyond 2019. So it doesn't make too much sense to trade. The only way that you're going to trade Kanter, in my opinion, is if maybe there's a three-way trade between three teams and you're not taking on any salary beyond 2019. And, that other team, the third team, is taking on salary. Or a player that you covet in free agency, you're trading for a player that you covet. Okay? So if you're trading for a player that you covet in free agency, all right, I get it. Other than that, you don't trade them. Right? Because if you trade them, you're either going to be giving away a young person, a young player, right? Because a team's not going to trade for Kanter just because. Okay, the Knicks want to trade, we're going to trade. They're not going to trade just because, right? So we're either going to be giving away a young player or we're going to be taking back salary. Neither one of those things are anything that we want to have a part of, because we are going to be preparing, for 2019. Now, Brendan the Great, you say, Kanter to the Bulls for Jabari Parker just in. Yeah, okay. Right? Now, would the Bulls want to trade for Kanter? Probably not. You know why they wouldn't want to trade for Kanter in that scenario? And I've seen a lot of people say trade them to Kanter. Their salaries match up. They do. But you know what? They match up a little differently than you might imagine. Jabari Parker makes $20 million this year, and Enes Kanter makes $18 million this year. So unless the Knicks are throwing in another player that makes $2 million, that means the Bulls are going to be giving the Knicks more money to free up for next year than the Knicks are going to be giving the Bulls. That means the Knicks can clean $20 million off their cap space in 2019, and the Bulls can only clean $18 million off their cap space in 2019. So that really doesn't work unless there's some other pieces involved, right? So, I mean, all these things we got to think about. What's the best scenario? Unless you're trading for someone that you cover in free agency, or some team is just dumb, or unless some team just really wants Kanter, tell me who. If there's a team that just really wants Kanter and they're going to make a trade and they're going to help you, they're going to give you someone whose contract is coming off the books in 2019 this summer because they want Kanter. Okay, yeah, but tell me who? Who? There's nobody out there, in my opinion. Nobody out there that's going to want him. So what do? You either waive him or you wait until his contract is up in the summer. That's it. You know what I mean? That's it. Now, if you waive him, I can see that happening, right? If you waive him, they'll probably do it before whenever that deadline is, March 1st. I think the deadline for a team to be able to pick up players for the playoffs. I think it's like March 1st. If it's going to happen, then it's going to happen probably after the deadline, because if you know Scott Perry, you think about Scott Perry and those guys, what they usually do is try the best that they can to find a deal. Right? They find the best, they do whatever they can to find a deal. And if they don't find a deal by the trade deadline, then they say, okay, after the trade deadline, maybe they'll waive Cantor or whatever it is. They did the same thing with Melo. They waited, found the deal that they wanted. They didn't just let it, take whatever was on the table. They found a deal that they were comfortable with, and then they made it at the last minute, just before training camp. Right? Same thing with Joakim Noah. With Joakim Noah, everyone was, when is it going to happen? What are we going to do? When are we going to waive him? Well, they tried to trade him. They couldn't trade him. So then they finally went ahead and waived him. Right? Same thing will happen with Cantor. They'll try all the way up until the deadline to trade him. If that's what's in the cards, they won't be able to trade him. Maybe they'll waive him after the deadline. Right? But trading, I don't think that we're really going to see any trades for Enes Kanter. If I was you, I would, kind of forget about that a little bit, because I don't think that's going to happen. Right? It just doesn't make any sense financially for the Knicks at this moment in time, unless they're taking back. This is like an even swap, and the person that they're taking back, their salary expires in 2019 as well. Big shout out to Hotep Rel. Thank you for the super chat. You said Fizz can't coach and we need to trade Tim Hardaway Jr. Trading Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to be so much easier said than done. Trust me, it's going to be very hard to trade Tim Hardaway Jr. And again, Hotep Rel said Tim Hardaway Jr. and Moutier are slowing down Knox and Frank. Moutier's played decently this year. Tim Hardaway Jr. is just Tim Hardaway Jr. And then Travis Fisher, thank you for the super chat. But again, man, that's the story with Enes Kanter. I don't know. I just wish that Kanter, whatever it is, just close your mouth. Just be quiet. Right? Just be quiet. Just stop talking. MKC, you said they won't trade him. Kanter said he talked to Scott, and Scott told him to be patient this year. I got a feeling Kanter will be back. I don't know. I don't know if he'll be back. I'll say this. I'll say this, MKC. The only way that I see Kanter coming back next year is, one, is going to be on a less contract. It would definitely be, it's not going to be $18 million. I can guarantee you that. Also, the Knicks would have to, I don't want to say strike out in free agency, but they didn't say, they did not find the free agent that, or they couldn't get the free agent that they covet. And so they decided not to really spend money. And then they signed him to maybe a 1-year deal. That, I don't see them signing him to a multi-year deal. And I think Kanter's going to want a multi-year deal. I don't see them signing him to a multi-year deal. That's my opinion on it. Right? Because they're going to have money in 2020 as well. So Steve Mills already said maybe free agency isn't for us this summer, which means that they'll be, they're not going to be frivolous with their money. They're going to use their money wisely, I think. And if they, why spend money on free agents this year if you're not going to, you're not going to get who you think is going to be a game changer for you. You're going to be in the same boat. Why? Why waste your money? I mean, I can understand giving out 1-year deals. I would do that. Give out 1-year deals. Cool. Right? Give out 1-year deals. And then you got 2020 again. If Kanter is back, I doubt he's going to be back. I highly doubt he's going to be back. But if he is back next year, it definitely wouldn't be for a long haul, for a long contract, and it would not be $18 million. You know what I mean? Definitely wouldn't be that. Big shout out to Travis Fisher. He said, you should do a show with Knicks Film School. I would love to do a show with Knicks Film School. Yeah, he's been on the show before, and will definitely be on the show again. But I would love to do a show with Knicks Film School. A separate show from this. That'd be real nice, real nice. But yeah, anyway, that's and talk to Knicks Film School. He'll tell you he's been on the show, and I'm sure he would love to. We got a pretty good relationship. But anyway, that's my take on Inez Cantor. The trade deadline is coming up, folks. We're about a month and a half away from the trade deadline. And I'm wondering what's going to happen. Right? What's going to happen? What's in the works? What do you think the Knicks are thinking about the trade deadline? We just talked about Cantor and the possibility of trading Cantor, and why I don't think the Knicks will be trading Cantor at the trade deadline. We got Courtney Lee, Lance Thomas. These guys, Courtney Lee's just sitting on the bench. He's barely played any minutes. Lance Thomas has barely played, really been playing any minutes. He started the season, and now that he's coming back off injury, he's barely playing minutes. Now, are these guys that Fizdale wants to keep around because, just to have some vets around? Because I don't care what anyone says, you got to have some vets. I'm not with just having a team of all young guys, just straight up young guys, because you got to have some guys around to teach these players just how to be professionals and young men in the league. What it takes, teaching them the ropes, those type of things. Now, maybe, you can make a trade and you can free yourself up and you can bring in some vets that are on veteran minimum deals. Okay, I get that, and I'm with that. Right, but I just want to know, what do you think? What do you think that the Knicks are going to be thinking at the deadline this year? They're not going to be looking to make any big splashes, right? There's not. What big splashes are even out there for the Knicks to make? I don't think there's going to be any out there. I don't know if they're going to. So I don't think they're going to be looking to make a big splash. If it were me, if I was the general manager, I'd be looking to trade Tim Hardaway Jr. somehow, right? Try to free up that $18 million, right? I don't know who, how, where, what. I don't want to give up draft picks. I don't want to give up, and the Knicks have already said they're not giving up draft picks, right? They're not giving up draft picks. I don't really want to give up young guys. Not to move them, I don't want to give up young guys to make a mistake. I don't want to potentially compound a mistake by making another mistake. You feel me? You know what I mean? I don't want to compound a mistake by making another mistake. That's like cleaning your floor. You spill something on the floor and then you clean it up with a rag that has mud on it. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. So I don't know how, where a trade for Tim Hardaway Jr. really comes in without giving up young guys or a draft pick, because I don't think people are really going to covet Tim Hardaway Jr. So I don't know. This could, in my opinion, this could be a quiet deadline for the Knicks. Maybe there's something very small on the back end that maybe saves us some money later on, or nets us a second round pick. I don't see anything major. Right? I don't see anything major. I don't know. I want to know what you think. Do you see anything major happening, or that could come up at the deadline? I'm gonna come to a video chat, and I'm gonna bring up the date of the trade deadline. But I want to know what you guys think about that. All right, Rob the Nick. Let me ask you, Rob, do you see anything? Do you see anything happening at the trade deadline? I feel like it's going to be quiet.
I feel as though it's going to be quiet, and and to tell you the truth, I want it to be quiet.
Okay.
Because I don't want it to. It's nothing out there that we can get back unless somebody else on another team goes down.
Right.
And then we might be in a bargaining position. Right now, people looking for us to make a sucker move because they don't believe what we're doing is true.
Mm-hmm.
In order to show them, we just stick to our guns, let it pass. If we don't get rid of nobody, we don't. And I feel the same way about free agency.
Yeah.
Stick with what we're doing. It's only been 1 year and everybody want to jump into free agency, get whatever out there.
Right.
And I still don't think that anybody that we get in free agency this year is not going to put us over the top. Oh, they ain't going to have the longevity to be there when we get good. We get Kevin Durant 3 years away, 2 years with him, Porzingis, and then the development of Knox is going to take another 2, and Frank. So then, are they going to really stick around? Are they going to start being on the decline? And they always get too late. I'd rather just stick. Let's raise our own all-star for 1 year, for one time in the history of the New York Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Because we jump out there, we jump out the window all the time. And I love Durant, but our team is so young. He gonna be 30 this year. He gonna be 31 this year coming up, right?
He's 31 this year coming up. I think he's gonna be 31.
Okay, so look, he gonna give us, if he give us 2 years and we give him $100 and something million, we gonna have him on the decline. Why even do that? Grow our own all-stars. If you can get AD, that's the only thing really that seems that I would want to do. AD, that's it. Durant, you done got a little bit too old now. You know what I'm saying? Really, all the ones that's out there now on their second contract, want this $200 million, they all really got too old for what we're really trying to do. It'll be a good name, a good splash, but it's not going to help. And it's not going to really help us.
Yeah, and, if you get Durant, the only way that I see that the Knicks really would be smart in getting Durant is if you could move Tim Hardaway Jr.'s contract, and now you have room to not only sign Durant, but sign either another player or some really good veteran role players to go around them. If you're just banking on signing Kevin Durant, then, like you said, you got guys that are years away. Kevin Knox, KP is maybe there. He still has a lot to learn, though, right? Kevin Knox, Frank, Trier, these guys are years away from being, those players. And Kevin Durant doesn't have that amount of time when you start talking about next season. He just
so why tear it down for some veterans? Because that's what we always do. We look for the quick fix, turn around, turn on. Because we did the same thing with the Melo deal, even though Melo was going to come.
Well, the thing is, I think this would be different, though. I think this would be different, in my opinion. Right? I don't know if
Durant is older than Melo was.
Oh yeah, he's older than Melo.
How did that work out?
But the reason why I say it would be different is if you could move. I don't think Tim Hardaway is part of a contending team as the starting shooting guard, in my opinion. Right? If you could move Tim Hardaway Jr.'s contract, now you're not moving any of your other young guys because you have enough money to bring in some vets to fill in some pieces. I think that's a little bit different than trading like the Knicks traded Gallinari and this crop of young guys, traded a crop of young guys to bring in Melo. Now you're adding vets too, because think about it, we already got 5 or 6 players that's going to be gone next season. Probably, right? You talk, Mario Hezonja is probably not going to be here next season. Cantor, Trey Burke, I think, probably isn't going to be here next season. Who else is on a 1-year contract? That's probably not going to be here next year.
Shit, Moutier
may not be here next season. So it's like,
you might drop something. Now, just say, for instance, they get the guard from Duke, Barrett. They get AJ Barrett. They get him. That's going to make all the guards expendable too. You don't have to bring them back. But Durant going to want the bag. We talking about $200 million. He going to want the bag.
Oh, yeah. He's going to want money. I mean, let's put it like this. Well, let's put it like
and
this.
I don't think that is worth it.
Well, Durant's, the maximum amount that he can get, I don't think we can even give him that, right? Because we're not the home team. So, I don't know if we'd have to worry about that. But no, I get what you're saying, man. We don't have to spend money this year. We don't have to spend money. Yeah. We can be quiet. We can afford to be quiet at the trade deadline. I mean, if something comes up that's real, I expect that it would be something small that we did. I don't think anything big is going to happen. If anything happens, it's really just going to be to set us up for 2019. Maybe bring in a young player that we like, that we think could be something in the future. I see it being a quiet deadline, really. The trade deadline is February 7th, so we're talking about, a month and a week.
Yeah,
trade deadline.
A week. Yeah.
So we'll keep paying attention. Keep paying attention to what goes on there. You know what I mean? I don't expect to see anything major. Let me see what Jersey Shore thinks.
No, there's not going to be any noise out here, and I agree with Rob. We need to develop our own. If the unicorn comes back at the end of the year, which I believe he will, because I don't believe he's trying to leave any money on the table, and if he doesn't play at least 15 games at the end of the season, he won't collect that bonus check or something like that. So we got, like I told you before, we got this boy Knox, right? He's an 8th round pick. He's green, but the boy can shoot. We're gonna work with him. We like Trier because he got the dog in him. Hardaway, I'm trying to figure out how is Fizdale going to convince Hardaway that he needs to come off the bench. This is imperative. This is what's got to happen. I think he'd be a good 6th man. He's not my starter. As soon as Trier learns how to keep his head on a swivel and stop letting people backdoor him the way he does and spinning around, he'll be all right. But that's gonna come with 40 or 50 games under his belt. He's only got 30-something games under his belt right now. He's got to have time, and he needs the minutes on the floor. Moutier, I see Rob, you was quick to say he might not even be on the team next year. We got about 30 games to find out if we're going to keep him or not. We already know we're going to keep Frank because he's cheap.
Right. I mean, he's kind of cheap. Kind of cheap.
He's cheap as they come. He get the boy what, $2 million, $3 million at the most?
No, I think he's making like 4. He's making like 4 or 5 million. He's making like 4 million.
Yeah, but hell, they paid Ron Baker 8. So what we talking about, man? Come on now. Yeah,
as long as his production begins to continue to incline, then of course his contract would be worth it. If he doesn't, then it'll just be your regular rookie contract.
He came out with the stats of the elite defender at only 19 years old. Everybody was talking about him. As soon as his shot got flat, he was a scrub. Now
I know. Yeah, I'm not worried about Frank.
But we let Hardaway shoot 25 times, and he goes 6 for 25, and it's okay. Come on, man. Give me a break. The boy got 1/2 a year in the league. Hardaway got 6, 5.
Well, I agree with you. Believe me, trust me, I'm the biggest Frank supporter out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
I know you are.
I'm just saying, he's making $4 million, his production, in order for him to, to say that, his contract is cheap, his production's probably got to go up. I think it will. He's going to be all right.
Rob asked me what I thought Frank's ceiling was. And by the middle of next season, Frank's he's gonna be averaging 14, 8, and 5.
Okay.
All right.
Hey,
so
I'll take that all day.
14.8 assists and 5 rebounds a game.
I will take it all day. I will take it all day. Listen, I'm on the record as saying, though, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm on the record as saying that I think Frank is going to be very good, but I don't think it's going to be with the Knicks.
You said that, and I've heard you. Like I said, I listen to your podcast all the time,
too, man.
And you honestly. So what you're telling me is because so many people seem to think that when Porzingis comes back, they do the 2-man thing quite well. So what you're saying to me is we're going to disregard what we think we see and let him go to another team, even though we're only paying him a lousy $4 million, and we gave Ron Baker 8.
I mean, well,
I don't see that.
I mean, it wasn't Scott Perry that gave Ron Baker that. I mean, I just think that the style of play that Fizdale wants to play, Frank isn't suited for that, and I think I feel like maybe Fizdale.
When you say he's not suited, when I told you he pushes the ball up as best anybody can push the ball up because you're passing it ahead of you to a man ahead of you.
But I feel.
What more do you want me to do? If you want, some people want Frank to get down, play low. You want him down low. You want him up top. You got to let the boy play.
I feel like Fizdale's style is synonymous to an AAU style. That's just my opinion. I feel like that's the style that he kind of wants to play, just like relentless attacking. And I don't know if Frank is going to be suited for that. We'll see.
Yeah, but even in a half, but like somebody had mentioned, I want to say it was Aaron. He mentioned in the playoffs. You don't get that. You get 65% of the plays are set up in a half court.
I agree with you.
In the playoffs.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we'll see. Listen, I hope that he's here. I want him to be here, but I just don't know if it's going to be I don't know if he's going to ever grow into what I think Fizdale wants him to grow into. Because I see him sometimes, like, was it Utah, whatever? You know, he came in and he like forced up like 7 shots or something like that because he's trying to do what they want him to do. So he just like forced some stuff up. And I just don't think it's in his nature to play that way.
No. Yeah. It's more, he tries to play a more controlled game.
Yeah. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, man. What's your take on the Lakers and the Knicks Friday?
Oh, wow.
LeBron James won't be there.
Is LeBron playing?
No, LeBron James won't be there.
Won't be there. I don't know. They got better. You know, we're not a great shooting team, and if we're not going to be able to stop anybody, they'll probably get us by about 12, 15 points.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing right now without LeBron. One thing that I know the Lakers were trying to do, they're trying to do opposite of what a lot of other teams have done. Most teams that LeBron goes to, they build that team around LeBron James. The Lakers, you know, just from hearing Magic talk, they tried to build that team not so that it's focused on just built around LeBron. They want the team to be sustainable, so that if LeBron is out like he is or whatever happens, you know, they can continue to be a good basketball team. You know what I mean? Right now, the Lakers, they're 21-16. You know, at the beginning of the year, I said I think the Lakers are going to win 50 games, and I think they will win 50 games.
You think so?
I think they will. They're 21-16 now with, you know, they're 37 games in, 21-16. Well, now LeBron is hurt. Maybe it's going to be a little bit different. If LeBron wasn't hurt, I think they would still been on track, and they may still get back on track. I don't know when he's coming back. I don't know what the prognosis is right now.
Hamstring.
Right now they're 21-16. They've won They won their last game. They are 4-6 in the last 10 games. You know, they played 37 games. You know, the Lakers are, you know, they picked up a vagabond of players, right? You know, throughout this season. You know, you looked at it like, geez, this locker room could be combustible or it could work. You know, just a vagabond of players when you talk about Lance Stevenson, Rajon Rondo, JaVale McGee. You know what I mean? Just then they picked up Tyson Chandler. They just Michael Beasley. You know, they just have they have a bunch of players that like wow. But you know, if when you have LeBron James, you know what I mean? LeBron James is able to put some things together, and he demands the kind of respect. He's the kind of leader that, you know, can take some of those type of players and make them work together.
Make them work. Make them work,
I mean, and they have talent, man. I mean, of course.
Don't they got that boy Corman from Cleveland, too, on there, don't they?
Who?
On L.A.?
Who?
Kyle Korver, didn't they take Korver?
No, he got traded to...
he went to Utah. Right.
He's in Utah.
Right.
Yeah, he's Utah. Yeah. I mean, you got Brandon Ingram is playing ball this year.
Yeah.
Right.
Didn't he come from the G League? What's that boy that came from the G League and he's playing for LA now?
I'm not sure.
He showed out in the G League this summer.
I mean, but Brandon Ingram, he's averaging 16 points per game. I mean, you know, they got, of course, you got Lonzo Ball.
He's not doing badly either. He's coming around himself.
He's coming around, though, because he has to with Rondo being out.
Right.
You know,
but they had him on the bench when Rondo got there, huh?
Yeah, you know, you got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who's playing ball.
Yeah.
You know, you got, of course, Josh Hart. We know about Josh Hart. You know, doing his thing in the summer league. I mean, so, you know, they got some guys. You know, we'll see. See. I think that I haven't watched them a whole lot, but I think that Friday night is going to be another game where it's kind of close, or not close, but we play well, but I don't think we're going to win.
What's that center that they? What's that big center they got?
They got JaVale McGee.
Yeah, that dude, he's a beast.
Hey, JaVale McGee, you know, he's a knucklehead sometimes, or at least used to be a knucklehead. Yeah. You know, once he went to, you know, he was playing well in Denver, and then he went to Golden State, and they kind of, you know, got him together. Now he's in LA where you got LeBron there. Yeah, he's playing ball, man. He's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. Hey, Rob the Knick, man. What do you think about Lakers Knicks?
Oh, we gonna beat them without LeBron, though.
You think so?
Yeah, we gonna take this game right here. We gonna build on it, and
really?
they not. I think they just like a good matchup for us without LeBron. So I think that we'll probably squeak one out on them by about 3 or 4.
Okay. You think Knox gonna hold it down defensively?
I think, you know what, on the West Coast, it's going to be, to me, it's going to be a lot more easier for Knox to score because they play wide open.
Wide open, okay.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of pick and roll that they do. So he's going to get a lot of shots. He's going to be able to put the ball on the floor. And I'm looking for him. I think this is going to be a good road trip for him.
Okay.
You know, he keep going to the basket. And I think that he felt good about going to the basket, because I've never really seen him real hyped up on the 3-point play until tonight.
Yes.
So I think that he gonna see something with that, and he needs to be a little, and he's getting a little bit more comfortable with his handle. Even though every time he go to the basket, it look like he not gonna make it.
Yeah. He got that teardrop going, huh?
Yeah. He'll teardrop that joint from the 3-point line. He will.
About at least 12 foot.
He will.
He be almost at the foul line and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I seen him do it today. I was like,
he with that extra dribble.
Right.
He did that extra dribble, but he'll drop that thing pretty well.
Yeah. He sure will.
What? Did you see Guy in his block that the other day?
Yeah.
He took his shit down to his ass, didn't he?
All right.
He sounded right on.
Yeah.
Like, get that stuff up out of here, boy.
Right.
Oh my God.
Right. Well, fellas, I'm gonna head out tonight, man. It's 2:00. I think you guys are staying up with me, man. It's 2:00 in the morning. I'm got some meetings with some clients tomorrow morning, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night, man. So, it's 2:00 in the morning. Having fun though, man. We're having fun. I appreciate you guys staying up with me. Appreciate you guys staying up with me, man.
I thought I was gonna get a chance to talk to Huzma. He a complete fool, ain't he?
Yeah, man. I don't know,
that picture up of Huzma, man.
Huh?
Because he's so.
Let me put it up there. That picture, who's Mark? Let me put that picture.
He need to eat some more. I didn't know he was that small.
Who's Mark? He's a little taller than I thought too.
About $110, don't he? About $110.
Yeah,
a good hard win.
He's a little bit taller than I thought too. He got his muscles flexed. I don't know what muscles got flexed up there. There he is. My man, who's smart.
Look how small his wrist is, man.
Y'all getting on my man who's smart. You know he's gonna check back and look at it.
Yeah, he can't wear no watch.
Yeah.
He can't put on no watch.
Yeah. But guys, I appreciate you guys staying up with me, man. I'm about to head out of here. I'm gonna just remind everybody real quick.
All right, Jersey. I'm gonna holler at you.
All right.
Catch you,
All right, fellas.
Peace.
I'm gonna
Later.
Just want to remind everybody real quick. Monday, January 21st, Martin Luther King's Day. It's a Martin Luther King Day matinee. The Knicks play the Oklahoma City Thunder. Right? We have 8 tickets left. 8 tickets left. So if you want to be part, make sure you purchase your tickets now. All right? Make sure you purchase your tickets now. What do you get with the package? You get a private lounge on Chase Bridge. Food and non-alcoholic beverages are included. Courtside during the pregame shoot-around. Be part of the NBK live stream. And we're working on adding so that you can get on the court after the game, either take a picture at half court or shoot a couple of free throws on the court. So make sure that you get your tickets right now, man, because they're almost gone. I'm putting the link in the chat right now. You can get your tickets. Go online, get your tickets right now. They're going to be gone by the end of the week, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure that you get them now. All right. And I'm out of here. I'm glad you guys stuck around with me. I appreciate you guys for sticking around with me. It's 2:00 in the morning. You guys are still here. I'll definitely be back on Friday. I will not have a pregame off. Well, I don't. Well, I may. Yeah. Well, the Knicks don't play until 10:30 at night, so I should have a pregame on Friday. I have a basketball game of my own that I got to coach, but that game is early. I think it's like 4:30. So I'll definitely be on for the pregame, 24/7. It'll be back up tomorrow morning as we, recalibrate things from the live stream. So it'll be back up tomorrow morning. Guys, jump into the 24/7, say hi, talk to each other. It's just a 24/7 Knicks stream, a constant flow of Knicks social media stuff coming through, different interviews and things like that happened in the past. So make sure that you check it out. Make sure you get your tickets. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out for tonight. Have a happy new year. Have a great start to your week. Have a great start to the new year. 2019 is here, and we're going to make sure we do this thing right. I want you guys, me, everybody. We're going to appreciate every minute. Every second is going to be precious for us, and we're going to make 2019 the best we ever had. Peace.